It's Labor Day. We are here at Clementi to acknowledge and thank the food delivery riders. During the COVID crisis, the food delivery riders were the lifeline to many people who are confined in their homes. Recently, the government acknowledged many of these heroes from the healthcare sector and so on and so forth, and recognized them. But I'm not too sure if the food delivery riders were as recognized or not. But nevertheless, they played a very important role especially during the COVID crisis. So it is our way of thanking them. Yeah, so that's why we are here today. We are thanking the food delivery riders by giving them a brand new mobile phone. We thank our sponsors for giving us the mobile phones. I think the mobile phones are very, very important for food delivery riders. It will be a very useful thing for them. And this is how we are acknowledging them.
In 2023, MOM released data that 94% of jobs went to foreigners. The remainder went to Singaporeans and PRs. Does it mean that we are creating jobs that Singaporeans are not qualified in? Or are we chasing jobs that we have very little competence in? Or is the education system preparing students or workers of the future? Surely, I believe that is not the case.
We welcome the tripartite guidelines on flexi work arrangements, but these are just guidelines, they are not enforceable. For example, we have the TAFEB guidelines on unfair discrimination due to various factors. But our workers who are over 40, the older ones, still face a lot of problems finding jobs after retrenchment. These might include pregnant women and so on. So the question is, should these guidelines be legislated? Can we encode them into legislation? For example, the right to disconnect, or perhaps the number of working hours, contractual working hours per week. So these are questions we have to consider. We don't want a race to the bottom. Our government has a habit of, has a reputation of under-delivering on promises when it comes to worker protection. We must also think about the difficulties that small and medium companies face when they want to implement flexi work arrangements. Will they be receiving support of any kind to implement these processes? Will there be monetary support and so on? So there's a lot of uncertainties, a lot of questions which remain unanswered.
We go into the Labour Day with a sad news that Yahoo Singapore is retrenching workers, and some of them have been working for the company for 15 years. We're happy that the government is providing some unemployment insurance, and when there are more details, we will look into what's needed for the workers. The world we know is fast changing. We are now facing a new wave of technology that's affecting our lives and livelihood. We need better protection for workers that are affected by such disruption. That is why in our shadow budget we propose unemployment benefit as well as universal basic income. In the age of disruption, we need better protection for our workers.
Our food delivery riders are usually the most resilient, yet also the most vulnerable of the gig economy workers. Many of them will sustain injuries such as broken legs, broken arms in the course of their work, which may put them out of their work for several months often after that happens. When that happens, they suffer from income losses and the ability to put food on the table for their family. Now we are happy that the government from this year onwards actually extends the workmen compensation scheme to these workers. But we feel that for these particular workers, it is not enough because this scheme mainly covers mainly death and permanent disability. we should look at creating an insurance scheme, particularly created or targeted at these vulnerable workers who will cycle or use their motorbikes to ply their trade. So this scheme should pay a monthly income benefit in the occurrence that these workers are unable to carry out their work or their occupation due to illness, including mental condition as well. This benefit, if it does not pay all, at least for some or most of their regular living expenses. Okay, for us at Red Dot United, we are naming this scheme as RIDERS, this insurance scheme, which stands for Rapid Income Delivery, ensuring reliable support. Depending on the underwriting expenses of the scheme, the RIDERS insurance scheme should be covered mostly by the employers and the government, with the workers maybe themselves co-paying a small amount, around 5 to 10% of the insurance, to better protect themselves.
Right. So a lot of young people like myself experience job insecurity, and there is this perception, right, that there is this unequal power dynamic between the employer and employee. So there's always this worry that they could be unfairly terminated with minimal notice or without any compensation at all. And what we feel, at least youth like myself, we feel that there needs to be checks and balances in place. There needs to be a way to correct this imbalance, and one way to do this is through active political participation and by pushing for substantial policy changes that can change things at the structural level to correct this imbalance.
We welcome Mr. Ng to Jurong GRC, but if he is indeed coming to Jurong GRC, he needs to make his intent known earlier so that the residents of Jurong GRC can get to know him better. But more importantly, Red Dot United, we welcome Mr. Ng to Jurong GRC because we would like to have a dialogue or a debate with him. He has been the union chief for a fairly long time, and Singapore and Singaporeans are facing a lot of challenges in the new economic climate. We would like to know how he, as the union chief, has helped Singaporeans, the Singaporean workers especially, in such a climate. The PAP has always said that it's important for the union chief to have a seat at the table. When I say a seat at the table, I mean the cabinet. But since the 2020 election, when Mr. Ng was not elected from Sengkang GRC, the union chief has not had a seat at the table of the cabinet. So, many questions arise. Does it mean that the workers have lesser say in the policies which may affect them? So these are all very important questions which we would like to have a debate with Mr. Ng.
Red Dot United, cheer you!
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Band Social Club. Hello, I'm City Boy, and I hope all of you will give me your support by subscribing to Band Social Club. Why? Because Band Social Club is a platform for ordinary folks like us, all of us, so that our voices can be heard. Yeah, we may not be well spoken, but we speak from our hearts. So let us all support YouTube channel Band Social Club. Thank you.